Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Stellar Lumens, aka XLM, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to hit that like button. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. So with that being said, let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. I did address in my algo video that the market is up significantly due to, of course, Bitcoin on the 24-hour spend. You guys could definitely see the altcoins doing some nice moves. Some of them are continuing their moves up from that video. Actually, we did see waves make a little bit more gains to 70% plus on the 7-day spend. You guys could also see the percentage gains. We have been addressing XLM for a little bit of time in terms of how undervalued it is, especially at these levels, and we're going to be talking about the significance of the level that it actually came down to recently test, which was like roughly 10 cents. We're going to be talking about that, but XLM is one of those assets similar to Algo and a lot of the other ISO 222 tokens that just doesn't get really kind of looked at too often. Again, if it's not like it's XDC, for example. XDC is extremely overlooked, but XLM is definitely one that I've been telling you guys to keep a close eye out on, because once we do see the market kind of shift back into a stable point, we don't know for certain what's going to happen, but if we do have that wave 5 on Bitcoin, for example, and we have XRP go to say for so $10 to $15, where will XLM go, right? Because XLM is going to follow closely behind XRP, so it would most likely go within that $5 range, most likely, depending on how high XRP does go. So like I said, the upside potential on XLM is pretty high. Now let's actually look at XLM and let's look at this chart. So the level that we came down to test was roughly 10 cents. It was like roughly 10 to 5 or whatever, but the level that we came down to test was a level that we've been going back to 2017, 2018 and really kind of looking at as well. You got to remember that this is on the macro fib levels. Let me go to the daily, by the way, just so that we can look at this really in depth. So our high that we recently hit during like roughly, I think it was like April of 2021, was around 79, almost 80 cents exact. And we really couldn't continue even higher. We couldn't make a new all-time high, which was surprising at the time, but it does make sense, especially when you looked at, like, for example, like XRP. So, a lot of them kind of cut their runs a little bit short because of course, the market structure at that time. And when we're kind of looking at the fib outreaches and the fib, levels that we have on the screen now, and we kind of look at the 10-cent zone, and kind of compare and contrast to 2017, 2018, we could actually kind of get a better view of what really happened. So first off, the level that we recently just tested was a major support zone before this started to run to the recent high that we made, which was at like 80 cents. And you guys could see that level that we did see tested multiple times here on the daily, but that's not the only time that 10 cents was tested. We've seen it tested multiple times during the summer. Obviously this broke down and we came down to roughly like 6-7 cents before we had that nice momentum shift. And of course, if you go back a little bit more in time, you could see some nice impulses back here in 2019 off of this level as well, ultimately breaking down below it yet again during the bear market. But let's go back to the bull market of 2017, 2018, and here we have it. So here is the 10-cent zone, 382 fib level. And, there wasn't a lot of support here before we ran to the all-time high. In fact, at this time, XLM did some incredible moves off of the lows. I mean, the lows were, fractions of a cent. So when we're talking about this, it just had a lot of momentum in it, and the FOMO was just building and building and building. So anything after this level, was nothing too significant. I've actually been addressing the 24-cent zone in terms of the fib level a little bit more closely, and I'm sure that you guys are probably all aware of that from my past videos on XLM, where I was kind of comparing and contrasting XRP and XLM together and talking to you guys about the 24-cent zone and why that 618 is actually pretty important for us to be back to or even above. That really kind of tells me that we will continue to go higher. But what I really want to talk to you guys a little bit about in terms of the previous all-time high, because again, this is our only all-time high really on XLM, is the fact that we will get back to the zone eventually. It's going to take some time, but even on the 1 week, right? So let's actually look at the week real quick, and let's kind of compare and contrast to what we are seeing on this chart now. So during 2017, 2018, and we could actually see this on the XRP chart as well, where we have this kind of building momentum, major jump out, downtrend, massively oversold area, and then it kind of comes back and goes to the all-time high. I don't believe that we're going to see that same exact move, but we have this nice high followed by a massive downtrend, and we would be hoping for a nice impulse soon, but we still need the market to kind of make up its mind on what it's really going to do. Also, the price action right now in terms of XLM isn't too sold to me. We still have a lot more to go here before we even start to get bullish on it. But I will say this on XLM. The levels that I'm definitely eyeing at are roughly the $2.50 to like roughly the $4.13 zone. But I have been addressing the 1618, and that is at $8.50. And if we could hit that, that's a perfect area for us. I know that I have the $10 to $15 range here. That's just to kind of show you guys where my XRP targets are and how lower from there that XLM will essentially grasp. XLM from the all-time highs of XRP to the all-time highs on XLM back in again 2017, 2018. You guys could see the percentage difference. It was like roughly a difference of like 74%. If we are talking about XRP going to roughly like $15, well, 74%, and this is just saying that if this actually does hold up, our all-time high for XLM would essentially be like $3.80, almost the same exact all-time high as XRP during 2017, 2018. But of course, we still need to wait to see if we are going to see a major shift in the market. But I will say this, XLM has been extremely oversold for a little bit of time. I think that a lot of the ISO 222 tokens have been. So I've been averaging into positions. I'm not taking heavy positions, but I have been averaging in because, again, the upside potential from here is pretty significant. And don't forget the fact that, XLM, or Stellar, I should say, has been doing incredible things right now, especially with a lot of their partnerships. Like, for example, MoneyGram CEO touts stablecoin remittances ahead of Stellar, blockchain-based platform launch. And this just happened yesterday. When MoneyGram's new service launches, the platform will be utilizing USDC coin, basically USD coin. The company will utilize Stellar's blockchain to quickly move value around the globe. So they will be utilizing, XLM, or I shouldn't say XLM, but Stellar, for, again, movement of money, which is always, that's basically always been the plan anyways. But they will essentially be utilizing USDC as well for, again, this platform, which this new service launches in, I think it's June, actually. So that's going to be something pretty significant to watch for. But also, Mercado Bitcoin partners with Stellar to create MVP for Brazilian CBDC as well. So I thought that this was also significant because as we have, this new service launching with MoneyGram, we also do see, again, Stellar essentially becoming the MVP for, a CBDC. We do see cryptocurrency companies unite to create use cases for Brazil's CBDC with central bank approval. Brazilian exchange Mercado, and I'm hoping that I'm saying that right. It might be Mercado, or I might be just saying it wrong, and I do apologize. Mercado Bitcoin announced its partnership with the Stellar Development Foundation (SDF) on Tuesday. The company said it intends to develop one of the nine projects selected for the Lift Challenge Real Digital, promoted by the Central Bank of Brazil. The Lift Challenge Real Digital is a collaborative environment carried out by the Central Bank of Brazil in partnership with the National Federation of Associations of Central Bank Services, or servers, sorry. With the announcement of Stellar's integration, SDF will join the consortium created by Mercado Bitcoin to develop solutions for real digital, and which also has, CPQD and clear sale. CEO of Stellar Development, Danielle Dixon, said the Stellar's network is prepared to support Mercado, Bitcoin, and the Central Bank of Brazil as they explore use cases for the real digital's future. Stellar was designed for asset issuance and is built-in compliance tools, giving Mercado Bitcoin a strong foundation to develop a solution with the features that Besen expects to see. And yeah, I'm very excited for this. I think that when we talk about things happening around CBDCs, Stellar definitely has played a pivotal role and a key role within that area. And of course, in terms of CBDCs, we talked about things happening around like the Ukraine and Russia things with Stellar and the CBDC that essentially the Ukraine was talking to Stellar Lumens about, or the Stellar Foundation, if you will. I'm just excited to see where Stellar really kind of leads to, because a lot of the talks has always been around like Ripple, because Ripple is very transparent on things that they do, and of course Ripple has been really kind of ahead of the game for a very long time. But I also do think that we should be paying attention to what Stellar is doing, because I've always kind of compared and contrast Stellar to Ripple in the way that I always say like XLM is more so for like the retail individuals, as XRP is more so for like institutional and enterprise grade, customers. And I still completely agree with that statement, because that's exactly how I really kind of look at it as well. Now, of course, these are not the only things that Stellar is being utilized for. There's so many projects on Stellar that you guys could definitely take a look at. They have a ton of things in terms of their community and their ecosystem as well. So I'm actually very excited for this ecosystem to continue to be building out and being built out, if you will. They have a ton of NFT projects and things like that on the Stellar ecosystem. A few things that I actually personally like are things like Lightmint. So Lightmint is almost like an NFT marketplace, similar to like OpenSea. The thing about this is that we've already seen over 2.4 million XLM total sales on Lightmint already, which are accommodating for $338,000. And you guys can see the collection pics here, and you guys can see everything on here similar to like OpenSea. You can see the bids, the reserve amounts, things like that. I'm actually very excited for a lot of these use cases like this, because I just think that a lot of people don't want to pay the absurd gas fees on OpenSea. So things like this definitely help out, and not only things like this help out in terms of that area, but it does allow individuals who support, for an example, the Stellar ecosystem, to purchase and support creators on things like Lightmint with, again, XLM. So I'm very excited for a lot of the use cases already on Stellar. I think that they are continuing to make some very great strides, especially within CBDCs and also with remittances. And this all leads me back to price. It's the idea that price will follow through soon. I just think that we are still in a market where we are very uncertain. A lot of people don't really know where we are headed. So to me personally, I think that once we do see that market stability come back, and we do see some confidence growing around Bitcoin and this market, I think that that's when we will see altcoins like XLM start to do some major moves. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.